Alright, YouTube, I'm back with another video. Making a lot of these right now. Alright, so I got time. I want to talk about near-death experiences. If you ever had a near-death experience, then it makes you appreciate life. I mean, a lot. And it makes you realize how lucky you are and how fragile life really is, especially when you do some stupid shit. Like one of the worst, stupidest things I ever did in my life was when I got really drunk because I was very depressed about a girlfriend. It turned out to be a complete biatch, and I almost shot myself over this stupid girl. But I was so depressed, I wanted to see her, and I drove drunk. I basically guzzled a whole bottle of tequila and a beer and some other stuff, and I drove like that and got to her home, and all I remember is passing out on the wheel, but I parked in the opposite way, like facing the cars the wrong way, in the opposite direction. But anyway, I remember passing out on my wheel, but all of a sudden I woke up without my shirt in front of her stairs with a shotgun. I do remember the shotgun, like that was intended for me. But basically, I was so depressed back then, and I was psycho, I guess, because that's not normal. But I guess she was my first girlfriend, and I was not used to that kind of bullshit. And I could have died right then and there. Like I could have taken my life, or I could have crashed, or killed someone, or I could have shot her dad, or you know, over what? That is why it's very important to control your feelings. That's the most important thing I learned. Um, and it took me a long time to realize that. And so you really appreciate life once you go near the other side. When I was very small, like probably 7 years old, I think, uh, I choked on something I was eating. I think it was cereal or something, but I remember I couldn't breathe. I remember I got on my knees and I prayed to Jehovah. I'm like, help me because I'm gonna die. I really thought I was gonna die. And, I guess he helped me because I could breathe again. And I remember I was crying because I could not breathe. And a lot of times that happened, like with the chronic bronchitis, I dealt with throughout much of my life, even my adult life. If you have chronic bronchitis, you know how it is. You can't even go to sleep because you're coughing and coughing, and your chest hurts really bad. You even cough up some blood. You cannot breathe. It's horrible. I haven't gotten that sick in a while, but man, when I used to get that sick, I mean, there's a whole reason why I had to move to Mexico as a child. Gasping for air sucks. And one time I sat on a CTA train on this window, I was looking outside, and something told me to just get up and go to the front of the train so I could see the tracks, as the train is going forward. So I switched my seats, and as I sat down on the front, and not a minute goes by or very little time, I don't remember exactly, but somebody actually shot the same spot where I was sitting at. Someone shot it with a gun or something. The whole window exploded basically. That's where I was sitting. I could have got shot because some dumbass decided to shoot at the train. And this was, I think I was like, I don't know, I was a teenager, but I remember that. And I thought to myself, wow, uh, I'm glad I switched seats. But it was just a feeling I had, you know? Uh, Also, I got in a lot of fights, you know, not a lot, like, but some some fights where I could have got really hurt. Uh, but the one that's most memorable to me is the one that didn't happen. I got. I'm not gonna call it luck anymore because it shows that someone was looking out for me, and it still is. When I used to live in the hood, I told my friend, like, we used to hang out in this arcade. It was a place. Actually, it was an arcade. There was an arcade there, but it was a bakery in the hood. And we used to wear a certain color because I guess you where you basically where you grow up, that's where you're from, And so you kind of show respect to the guys there without necessarily being in that gang. But we used to hang out in this spot, and that's where they hung out. The gang used to play there, or they used to hang out this bakery. It was right in a corner, and we were playing. I think we were playing Samurai Showdown, and I told my friend, "Let's go to the other arcade." It was like 2 blocks away, and we walked and we started playing NBA Jam, and it didn't take more than 10 minutes. We went back to the other arcade, and in less than 10 minutes, the other gang came and they got off a van. This is what they told me, and they had crowbars. And all the guys that were hanging out in that spot, they cracked open their skulls. So I could have got killed easily because if they hit you with a crowbar in the head, you're never gonna be the same. And all, man, I realize how I'm not gonna say lucky, but man, that opened my eyes, and for some reason I forget. But I'm glad I'm making these videos because it reminds me. And besides a lot of other fights, police one time they pointed a gun at me just because I had like kids in my car. They were just assholes, and they said basically if I moved, they were gonna shoot me. They thought I was a gangbanger, and I was like, damn, you can't go anywhere. I got stopped twice that day. Um, And then when I moved to Vegas and I came back, on the way back, I have a GMC Yukon, a big truck, and I have good tires on it, Firestone. And it was slippery, and a whole bunch of trucks and cars overturned on ditches, semi trucks, everything. And my cousin was driving, and I was gonna tell him to slow down, and he lost control, and we went down a ditch. But we went down a ditch in such a way that nothing happened to us. We didn't overturn. We were able to get out. And I remember I had my Bible on the windshield, and nothing happened. Like I saw the Bible move. And when I got out of that situation, all I could think of was, why didn't I, nothing bad happened. Like it felt like a miracle. Like God was protecting me. Because man, everybody else didn't get off that situation. They were stuck there. Um, and the whole night, it was like something was trying to stop us from reaching our homes because then we had to deal with smog, not smog, mist in the night, and you couldn't see like more than 10 feet in front of you, and you could just hear all these semis passing you. Like, man, it got so scary. I thought I was gonna die that night. It was the longest night of my life. And then, that diabetes, it just made me realize that I'm not immortal. Really bad, when you start losing your eyesight and your kidneys start giving out, you know, they hurt so much that you can't walk straight. And you start going in a coma, you know, it sucks. That one was an eye opener. And the other day, my sugar like really dropped really low. And every time it drops, I remember I gotta stop doing stupid shit, you know? And like today, like I was saying, I saw that movie, that cool movie, a Marvel movie. Fuck, what's his name? I just made a video on it. Doctor Strange. And it made me realize, I gotta make a movie on near death experiences. Because, man, I had some close calls, and, until it happens to you, you really appreciate life. So, appreciate what you got. It's not perfect, but it's the only thing you have in this life. Because odds are, if you're a normal dude, odds are you're not in good favor with God. Because being normal doesn't get you. You gotta go above and beyond for Him to pay attention to you. You're only alive to God's eyes, in God's eyes, if you really make yourself known to Him. And the way you make yourself known to Him is by doing what He says in the Bible, living by what it says. That's the only way. And trust me, it's not easy. And once you start doing it, you're going to find out that Satan is real and he's out to get you. And even if I make this video, like, he doesn't care because he knows he's got everybody under his control, even me. Like, there's so much bad influence that he doesn't really have to work hard. Think about all the bad stuff, pornos, the bad rap, the idiots at work, wars, mugging, stealings, man. So that's why I put Skeletor here, so you can see representation of death. All right, people, take care. I hope this was informative, or I hope this makes you realize that you really gotta think, and you gotta realize that one day you are going to die, probably. I say probably because the Bible says very few number of people were actually, they have to die too, but they get to live in heaven. And some people are not gonna die when the end comes, but those are people that are doing everything by the book. And there's not a lot of them either. We're talking millions. Millions is not a lot when it comes to billions. So billions will die, and very few millions, probably under 10 million people, if will keep on living normally. But most people will die. That's biblical. Well, we'll see. All right, people. Take care. Bye.